Hey guys, I just wanted to share some samples I shot with the Ursa Mini Pro G2 on the Blackmagic user group required purchase, the Sigma Art Zooms, both the 18-35 and the 50-100, and compare them to our Cinemodded Zeiss ZFs, the 21 2.8, 28 f2, the 35 f2, and the Super Speeds, the 35 1.4, 51.4 and the 85 1.4, and the 100mm f2 macro. The shots you'll see in the video are using Cinematch, converting the Ursa G2 to Arri Alexa color and utilizing the Arri Rec 709 LUT. Comparison shots are on the same ISO and white balance, and I've at times shot with a super fast shutter of 90 to 45 degrees to avoid or minimize using ND filters. There's no adjustments made to curves in what you're gonna see or anything else. A few things to note. It's definitely not like a perfectly controlled test by any means, and I'm certainly not scientifically methodical here. The reason I went and did this is like when I'm shooting branded content for corporates and traveling, I'm often taking the 18-35 along with the Zeiss 50 and 85, and sometimes also the 35 1.4 because it's just gorgeous, and I could do a whole shoot on a 35mm with an S35 sensor. Anyway, recently I was cutting and grading a sequence I shot. I can't show it here because I'm not allowed, but I was just noticing not just the difference in contrast between the Sigma 18-35 and the 50mm 1.4. I mean, even between the Zeisses, the contrast varies quite drastically, but the saturation of the colors and just the general color rendition was dramatically different in that scenario. So I shot some quick shots just to test combining these cameras, these lenses for B-roll, and also some side-by-sides comparing lenses wide open or at their closest equal focal length. I put Shane in front of our 55-inch 4K LG OLED to see what he thought, and I'm gonna try to cue up some of his thoughts with what he was looking at. Timing won't be exactly perfect because I stupidly didn't put a camera behind us aimed at the screen, but you'll get the idea. Alright.
It's looking quite nice.
Yep, so that's shot.
Guessing it's a 50mm, very shallow with a Zeiss. It's yeah, nice detail. Yeah, very shallow.
Is there anything you don't like about it?
No, well, I mean, I think that what you're shooting is really nice as well with the leaves and things. Like, there's a good mix of color in there. Maybe the red of the brick seems a little bit green, but that can be fixed with post, and I'm sure it's the light that's coming through the trees and stuff hitting that.
Yeah, so here's...
Yeah, so to me that seems a bit sharper. I don't think I like it as much, so I'm guessing that's a Sigma of some description.
Did my slide zoom in there?
Yeah. No, I saw that before the zoom in. Yeah, it just seems a bit sharper. Like I like the other leaves and stuff that are out of focus seem a bit more circular.
Yeah.
I don't know, I think yeah, I mean, this looks like a great kind of doco lens, but I can definitely see the difference between that one and number one. Yep.
So this is here's number 3.
Yeah, that's looking quite nice. I'm guessing that's...
So this will be the same equivalent as what the neck and what 4 will be, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I think I'm just showing where I'm trying to focus on that leaf.
Yeah, I mean, to me it's quite sharp in the foreground. The bokeh in the back looks quite circular though, so I'm guessing this is Zeiss again.
There you go.
And I was totally wrong. This is Zeiss. That was Sigma before.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's interesting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep, I feel the roll off on this one in terms of sharpness from yeah, the focus to the background just seems a bit more, a bit smoother.
Alright, this is a more boring shot.
I'm gonna say Sigma.
I actually don't know. I can't remember. Like, I've written it all down in a Word doc, but I can't remember off my head what the order was for this one and the next one.
I'm going to say Sigma because I can see some lenses sitting on a chair in the shop.
It's true.
They're all Zeisses, so I'm assuming. I reckon this is the Zeiss.
Because one of the Zeisses has disappeared?
Well, yes, like that, but also the foreground leaves in the top, or towards the top right of the image, kind of about halfway down. They seem softer than what they did on the Sigma. 35, I would say.
I think you're right. It is a 35. I don't know which 35, and there's 3 that are tested. The Zeiss 2, the Zeiss 1.4, and the Zeiss, the Sigma.
I mean, that's a very nice image. Very shallow.
Yes, some rapid focusing here.
Yeah, I'm guessing that is one of the Zeisses because...
That's about, okay, so that's just changed. Now this will have a cut in it, but it's the same. It'll stay as number 10.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm guessing this is the Sigma.
Well, I spoiled that one.
But yeah, I feel like it's not...
That's not breathing. That doesn't breathe too
Yeah, it's
bad.
not breathing too badly.
It's not really breathing. You said that's very good. At 35, I don't know if it's like that one. I mean, the 50 to 100 breathes, like, that's the worst lens I've ever used for breathing.
The roll-off between what's sharp and what's not sharp, what's out of focus, just doesn't seem as pleasing, I think. Yep, which I'm guessing is the 1.435.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. I'll confirm later.
It looks, the depth just looks so interesting. And particularly those leaves on the right of the frame. That's really nice.
This one goes for a really long time. I don't know why. I must have just left it.
I'm guessing Sigma? Breathes like a dragon.
Oh yeah, I mean that's the thing about the 50 to 100. In theory, it's a much more usable lens than it is. It's great on sticks.
Oh yeah,
but
on sticks, that's all it's for.
Yeah.
Sticks and slow-mo. Yeah, I mean, that looks nice.
I'll just jump into this where the sort of focus to those leaves at the back, and then you can sort of get a look at that. And then we'll jump to the number 8.
Yeah, so we're definitely moving into Zeiss territory here, I would say.
And then again, leaves at the back.
Yeah.
Alright, and then there's one more. There we go. This one.
Looks nice.
And this one.
Yeah, that's hard to see the difference between those two. I would say that's... Yeah, I actually literally can't tell the difference between those two. Apart from one being a bit more
Zoomed out.
zoomed out, yeah.
Yeah. So,
Maybe that's the Zeiss because of the contrast in the image, and the other one's the Sigma because it's not as contrasty just out of the box. It looks like that sprinkler is blending in with the background a bit more.
So not that I'm trying to trick you, I think that's the only one you got wrong.
Yeah, okay.
Because the 85 is a bit not super contrasty.
Oh, gotcha.
So that is the Sigma at 85, and that is the 85.
The Sigma at 85 looks quite good. Just go back to 5 there. Yeah, it's so interesting looking. It's this leaf up here. I reckon, like the tree, that's that's the giveaway kind of a thing. It just seems...
Yeah, it's hard with the inconsistent, you know, it's overcast, but the lights change, you know.
Yeah, well, but it's not the light so much. It feels like on the Zeiss, it's more out of focus than what it is on Sigma.
What I did notice that is distracting to me, that isn't good about the Zeisses, although I think the richness of the colours typically is a bit more pleasing, but it's not a huge difference. But it's just the issues with the purple fringing rearing its head.
Oh yeah, look at that.
100mm.
Yeah.
And it's like you can almost not notice it, and then
as soon as it gets pointed out,
but then you put it on the Sigma.
Yeah.
And it's literally like not there. And you're talking, that's what, an $800-900 lens Australian, sometimes cheaper. And that's a very expensive port. Now, that's obviously just in high contrast. You know, we're talking about thin, dark twigs against a white, grey sky. But it's really noticeable on that. And that's meant
especially
to be,
comparing the two.
Yeah. So that was something. So even on these shots, you can see it on the 85 here on the edges of, you know, these twigs and things. You can see now it doesn't happen.
It's not as bad as the 100.
No, but also that's not as big a contrast difference. So this is the big weak point of these lenses to me, because it's just a distracting thing that is a weakness. You know, you get that beautiful...
Well, if you don't notice it,
then
it's not distracting. But as soon as it's pointed out,
it detracts. Obviously, aesthetically, I prefer them, but there's that issue. So our main takeaway: we both seem to prefer the aesthetic of the Zeiss lenses, even though on average they're not as sharp wide open. And in the case of the 35 and up, they're exhibiting like noticeably more chromatic aberration on high contrast like edges in high contrast scenes than both Sigma lenses. This test certainly shows me that the Sigma Art zooms are as popular as they are for a reason. Very, very well controlled chromatic aberration, even wide open, and a nice image. It's just a shame that the 50-100 breathes like a dragon and is so long and heavy. It's pretty much a sticks-only lens for us for this reason, while the 18-35 is a jack of all trades, master of none. Regardless, it's the best value lens we've ever bought, and ours is actually in pretty bad condition now after years of shooting in sometimes pretty horrendous conditions. So we've just ordered another one.